What's up, Oil, and welcome back to the Cover 3. I'm your host, Rob Fredrickson. Joining me is James Rendazzo, and Mike Valenti is back, and he's better than ever, ladies and gentlemen. Guys, if you don't know what we're doing on the Cover 3, we go over three main topics in sports. We're going to talk about whatever we like. So let's get right into the first topic right now, guys. And it's a sad topic. The NBA lockout is still going on, and to be honest, it seems as bad as it's ever been. Let's go over a few statistics. It's canceled games through December 15th. That's 26% of the games of the season already canceled. And players just missed their first paycheck. And on average, guys, they all lost $220,000. Now, that's a lot of money, and the players will be suing the league now. But, guys, whose fault is this really, Mike? I'll throw it to you first.
Well, I'm going to have to say now it's the players. You can't argue against them that they still want the same amount of money, the revenue, because they were getting 57% originally. But the owners came out with a new deal, and they still were giving the players most of the revenue. And you got to realize too now, with this economy, you can't really do much better. And the players are trying to do this tactic that the NFL players did by decertifying the union, and now they're doing this so late. There's not even going to be an NBA season probably. The players should have thought about doing this maybe in July, as soon as the season ended, and not now, because like you said before, they're all going to lose money, and people are huge NBA fans. There probably won't be a season.
Yeah, I'm going to have to agree with everything you said, but I'm still optimistic that we're going to be having basketball on Christmas.
All right, well, I mean, it's whose fault is it, James, though?
I'm going to have to say right now it's the players' fault, just like Mike said about the 57%. It's down to 52 now, but the owners were losing money, like you both said. So, I mean, it's the players' fault right now.
Yeah, I mean, I can't even pick a side. I think both sides are just wrong. I mean, it seems like the players did have a deal that was acceptable, according to David Stern. He said that, this one is the players' fault. They should have accepted this deal. But he sort of gave them an ultimatum. I feel like there's just some tension between both sides. And unfortunately, it doesn't seem like it's getting resolved anytime soon. The 72-game season that was proposed, players shot that down. But, guys, you already mentioned it, but who is hurting most from this lockout? Do you think it's players, owners, or somebody else, Mike?
Well, we were talking about this before. It's obviously the people, the concessions, the security. You have people who market for teams. Just anyone who works for the NBA in general, I think, is hurting from this, and they might not even have jobs for a full year.
Yeah, I'm going to have to agree. The players and the owners are both rich, but the people who work there every day trying to get it all set up, they're hurting the most right now.
Yeah, I mean, we're definitely talking about those people hurting the most. And then you got to talk about, not everybody's a Dwayne Wade and LeBron James in the NBA. You got lower-end players who, are making league minimum salary. And those people, I know Andy Routen's a New York Knick, moved back home with his parents up and by Syracuse.
Wow.
And, he's trying to get a financial job now. I mean, without the lockout, it's just killing basketball. It's really hurting the players' morale. And it really needs to get a deal done, guys. But my last question, do you think there will be any NBA season, Mike?
No.
I'm going to hope so, or we're going to have to start playing some NCAA basketball fantasy.
Yeah. Well, I don't think there's going to be a season. I think it's just gone too far, and I think the fact that they're suing now and every deal that's been mentioned has not been accepted. So I don't think there's going to be a season. We'll keep you updated throughout the year to let you know. But, guys, let's talk about some happier things, and that's football, which did get their CBA done in the offseason. Let's give an NFL update in topic number 2 right now. The Sunday night game, guys, was a little disappointing. The Jets and the Patriots are going at it. They were tied for first place in their division, but the Patriots rebounded big against the Jets, 37-16. But, Mike, where was the Jets' defense? They had this tough defense. Where was it?
Well, in the beginning of the game, it looked like it was going to be a Jets game. They were winning. They probably should have scored more. I mean, Sanchez turned the ball over when they were driving. In the first quarter, they should have scored a touchdown. And on defense, too, they were shutting down the Patriots. But I think the problem was that touchdown the Patriots got at the end of the half completely changed the whole game. And their two safeties could not cover the Patriots' tight ends. Gronkowski is a complete mismatch for the smaller Jet safeties. They're not great cover guys anyway. So that's what really hurt the Jets. And we got to talk about their play calling as well.
Yeah, also on the first drive, Nick Folk misses a kick,
Yeah.
and then Tom Brady goes to the no huddle, and the Jets just look completely confused. And also, you got to look at the defense. They're blitzing. It's just not working right now.
Yeah, I mean, we talked about in past weeks that Rex Ryan seems to have the Patriots number, but he certainly didn't this week. But Tom Brady, like you said, came out in the hurry up, really confused them, and the Bill Belichick, Tom Brady mastermind is at it again, guys. But I'll talk about the Patriots now, Mike. Is this going to send them on a run for the upcoming
Well,
games?
I mean, it looks like it. We went over their schedule. They only play one team that's over 500 the rest of the year. We would be sitting here saying, maybe the Eagles will be a tough game for them, but the way they're playing now is just it's like playing Arizona Cardinals, I guess.
Yeah, they got KC, Philadelphia, Indianapolis, Washington, Denver, and Buffalo. So they're going to win the rest of their games.
Yeah, I mean, unless Buffalo upsets them again in the end, all those games seem pretty easy. The Patriots have a real easy schedule, coasting in, probably to coast into the playoffs as well. Guys, let's talk about a team that's been on fire. We know the Bears have been killing it lately. Jay Cutler's playing really well. They defeated the Lions 37-13, a divisional rivalry, and they took it to them. But James, are the Bears a legitimate title contender now?
I'm going to have to say no. I think that they're the fourth best team in the NFC right now, and I just know that when the playoffs come, even if they are there, that they're going to have to go on the road twice and eventually play the Packers, who are playing out of their minds.
Yeah, the Bears have been playing great. They've been protecting Cutler. They're getting turnovers on defense. The defense looks like it used to be like 5-6 years ago. All those old guys are playing really well, but I'm going to say absolutely not. They're nowhere near the Packers still. I don't even think they're nowhere near the 49ers as well. And I think the Giants would be able to beat them. And like you were saying, they're going to have to go on the road in the playoffs and play really tough teams in tough stadiums like Green Bay and San Francisco and in Giant Stadium. There's no way the Bears are a title contender.
Yeah, I wouldn't go as far to call them a title contender, but I do think that there's a chance that they could, if they play this well, they could slip into that NFC Championship like they did last year against the Packers. They slipped in there, and nobody really gave them any props throughout the season, and same thing's kind of happening this season.
It's not happening this year.
I mean, we'll see. I hope it doesn't, but we will see. And guys, on the other side of the ball, the Lions, who have been struggling mightily of late, James, are they overrated at this point?
Yeah, I'm going to have to eat my words and say that the Lions are looking depleted, especially after a loss a couple weeks ago against the 49ers.
I'm not going to say they're overrated. I think this is where they should be at this point in the season. They also play Carolina next week. I think that's a win for them. They'll go 7-3. And don't forget, they played in Chicago. It was bad weather, and the Lions haven't played like this all year. Some teams just due for a bad loss. And Stafford's been playing great the whole entire year. I think he had 3 interceptions coming to that game, and he threw more than he had all year in that single game. So I'm going to say they should be where they are right now.
Yeah, I think that's a good point, Mike, that they should be 6-3 right now. That's great for them, in fact. And I wouldn't call them overrated. They ran into a really hot Bears team this week, and I think the upcoming weeks will be able to tell us a lot whether they're going to be in the playoff mix or not. But guys, let's talk about the Giants. They versed the 49ers, and it was a battle of top teams in the NFC. But the Giants failed in a fourth quarter comeback. They lost 27-20. But guys, how good is this 49ers team, James?
I think they're the second best team in the NFC right now, third overall behind the Steelers and the Packers. And their offensive line is just huge. They're running the ball great. Alex Smith is playing great, and they also have a great linebacker core with Pat Willis at the helm.
Yeah, this 49 team, like you're saying, is the second best team in the NFC, maybe the second best team in the NFL. They play the Steelers for those rights, by the way, later on this year. But like you said, their linebacking core is probably the best in the NFL. They have Patrick Willis and Navarro Bowman. They're fast. They're strong. They make all kinds of plays. And Alex Smith is playing great. He's not turning the ball over really, and especially against the Giants. People call him a management quarterback, but against the Giants, he came out and threw the ball really well.
Yeah, I mean, I have to give props to Jim Harbaugh right now. The guy has come in and is taken this team to the next level. They had a terrible season last year. Now they're the best defense in the NFL. And like you said, Alex Smith seems to be maturing as a quarterback. And he seems like he's getting the job done right now. And he's got them at an 8-1 record, which is very impressive. Let's talk about the hometown Ravens, guys. They another upsetting loss. It's almost disturbing to see them go down to the Seahawks, 22-17. I don't know if they're good at playing at home, the Seahawks, because they haven't taken down some good teams. But James, why do the Ravens struggle to remain consistent?
The answer is Joe Flacco. Like, I've ripped him all year. I just don't think he's the right quarterback for the team. And until they have a new quarterback, we're not gonna see a Super Bowl in Baltimore.
Well, I just think they play down to their competition is one of the main problems. You've seen the last couple of years, they'll beat the Steelers or they'll beat the Patriots, and then they'll come back the next week and lose against a team like the Seahawks, or the Jaguars this year. They should not be doing that. And I also think it's a play calling as well. You give your best playmaker on offense the ball 5 times. That's unexcusable. And then Cameron thinks Joe Flacco is like Aaron Rodgers and makes him throw the ball 50 times a game. That's not their game at all. They need to get back to giving the ball to Ray Rice. That's
yeah, I mean, I agree. It's a 22-17 game. It wasn't like it was a blowout and you had to start throwing the ball. I mean, Ray Rice needs to be involved in that offense, like you said. And Joe Flacco is not Aaron Rodgers. They can't. I mean, I know they believe in him, and I think you should believe in your quarterback. but you also have to let him play within his own game, and throwing the ball that many times is not his game.
Defense too. When the Ravens did turn the ball over, their defense also didn't really come up to huge stops they usually do, and it's hard to always rely on your defense every single game. Sometimes they're gonna let you down, and this is what happened.
Yeah, and unfortunately they were let down against the Seahawks, putting 22 points up, and you would never expect to have a Ravens defense. All right, guys. Fantasy stud for the week, Mike?
I'm gonna go with Aaron Rodgers. Guy's a machine. 4 touchdowns, 250 yards. Right now, he is the best quarterback in the NFL, probably the best player in the NFL.
I'm going to have to go with the AFC Offensive Player of the Week, Michael Bush, who had 157 yards on 30 carries, a touchdown, and 87 receiving yards also.
Great, and I'm going to go with DeMarco Murray, the running back for the Dallas Cowboys. He had 135 yards and a touchdown. A rookie emerging, given that Dallas offense running game and that they haven't had in a long time.
He fell in the draft, too, 3rd-round pick.
Yep. And guys, let's move into topic number 3 right now. We have a Week 11 preview. Not as many good games as we had last week, but let's talk about probably the game of the week, which involves our hometown Ravens. They will be hosting the Bengals, 6-3, both teams. James, who's going to take that game?
I like the Ravens in Baltimore. They won't lose 2 games in a row, and also A.J. Green's out for the Bengals this week.
Yeah, I'm going to have to go with the Ravens at home. They play great at home. And like you've seen this year, they lose against the Jaguars, come back, beat up the Steelers. They usually play very well when they play very good teams. And like you said, they're at home.
Yeah, they're at home, and they are 4-0 at home this year. But I think they are going to win the game. But it's interesting. I think it's going to be a really good game because the Bengals are 4-1 away. So I think it's going to be a really good game, tough divisional battle. And those are 2 very good teams.
People forget, too, the Bengals have a great defense. So like you said, I think it's going to be a very low-scoring game.
Yep. And, guys, let's talk about another divisional rivalry. Not the best game, per se, but the Eagles are visiting the Giants. And it's always a good game whenever those 2 match up. James, who's going to take that game?
I'm just going to say one word, and that's the Giants.
Yeah, I'm going to go with the Giants, too. Arguably the most upsetting team in NFL history. They've had 5 fourth-quarter leads blown. I'm going to have to pick the Giants, especially, too, Vic's out. And they're going to have Vince Young start. I'm going with the Giants.
Yeah, I think that if the Giants get any type of pressure on Vince Young, it's going to be over early. I mean, unless the Eagles pull off a miracle, I think the Giants should take this one convincingly. Let's talk about the Jets. And, guys, yeah, we're talking about the Broncos right now. They're 4-5. They're still in their division talk, and they're led by no other than Tim Tebow. James, who's going to take that game?
Well, I just want to talk about a couple quotes first. This week, John Fox was quoted saying that if Tebow was running a regular offense, then he'd be screwed. And also, Revis talking about the offense this week and saying the only problem this week is that they might fall asleep on the field. But I'm going to have to take the Broncos this week because it's a short week and they don't have to game plan as much with an offense that just runs the ball 60 times a game.
I'm going to go with the Jets. The Jets have a better defense than the Chiefs, and you can't keep running triple options. The players are too fast in the NFL. They're too smart. That's why they are in the NFL. It's not going to last. Tebow's going to have to throw the ball at least 15, 16 times for them to win the game, and I just don't see it.
I'm going to go with the Jets as well. I just think that, the entire Jets, I mean, their defense, their attitude might not be great right now, but I think it is really the way it's going to go. I think they're going to shut down Tebow. I think the pass is going to go nowhere, and I think they're going to stop the run or at least contain it enough to win that game.
Another thing, if you're Tebow, wouldn't you be pretty mad at that quote by John Fox? Because Tebow does want to be a conventional quarterback, and if your coach is even saying that he's screwed if he plays conventional.
Yeah, over-under, how many times does he throw? 6 over-under.
Oh, man. I'm going to have to say over. They're gonna have to throw to win this game.
Or how many completions over on the 6?
I'm going to say exactly 6.
Exactly 6. Wow, that would be
Pushing.
interesting. All right, guys, let's talk about another struggling team we have in the AFC West. You have the Chargers, 4-5. They lost to the Raiders this past week. Again, they're just really struggling at this point. And they're going to the Red Hot Bears, 6-3, James. Who's going to win that?
I like the Bears in Chicago. Matt Forte is really carrying that offense. He has like 48% of their offense right now. And also, Devin Hester last week, he comes back with a kick return, and every single time he does it, they win. So.
Yeah, I'm going to go with the Bears. I'm going to say closer than you think. That's my gut feeling. But Chargers are like the Eagles, arguably the 2 most talented teams in the league, and they've just been struggling. I think the Bears are going to get Phil Rivers to turn the ball over, which is going to help them a lot. But I think it's going to be a close one.
Yeah, I'm going to go with the Bears as well. I think the Chargers just are falling apart this season. I don't think anything could really help out their morale besides the fact that they still have a chance to win their division, which has got awful, by the way. But, guys, that will wrap that up. But we want to say congratulations to Coach K. He takes over the all-time NCAA men's basketball winning record. But we have an interesting debate for you guys today. James, is Coach K the best college basketball coach ever?
Yeah, so I'm going to say that longevity measures success here, and he's been coaching for 42 years now, has 4 championships. And although I know Mike's going to say that Wooden's the best of all time, he's done it in a more competitive era.
I'm going to have to go with John Wooden. 10 titles in 12 years. He's recruited some of the greatest college basketball players of all time. He made West Coast basketball the way it is today. He is a pioneer of the sport. He also had 664 wins in 29 years. Just imagine if he would have coached 42 years and how much more titles he would have had. I'm just going to say it's John Wooden. But Coach K deserves to be on that same round table of greatest coaches of all time.
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna go with Coach K myself, just because he really, I've never been a Duke fan. I never even liked Coach K, but he's just earned my respect year after year. And I just think maybe I'm a little biased because he's done it in my era and I've watched him do it. But I mean, they're both on the same level. You can go either or, and you really can't have much of an argument there. But guys, anything you want to add before the show ends?
No.
You're good.
Yeah, I'm good.
All
Just
right.
gotta watch Tebow.
Yeah. Well, just keep checking out the men's basketball team. Exciting win over Coppin State last week. Keep it up, guys, and we'll see you next week. Take care, Loyola.